All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from Hop Butcher for the World, and they're out of Chicago, Illinois, and this is their Double Pepperoni. So they're calling this one a Simcoe, Nelson Sauvin, Vic Secret and Citra-hopped Double IPA that comes in at 7.5% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review. This can is just over 5 weeks old. I want to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to Hop Butcher for this beer, so big thanks to them. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail video I did that contains all the goodies they hooked me up with, and I'm really curious about this one because they don't technically have like a pizza series of beers, but kind of a pizza themed series to some degree. They have their Tavern Cut, they have a Deeper Dish, and they have a Tavern King, and I think this is very akin to the Tavern King because the hops are very similar. The only difference is that instead of Simcoe in here, they're using Mosaic in Tavern King, but Nelson Sauvin, Vic Secret, and Citra are all the same. So yeah, really looking forward to getting this one. Let's crack it open and get it in a glass. Just over 5 weeks old, we should be good. And all three of those aforementioned beers I really enjoy. I can't say which one I enjoy the most, but they're all really good. I think I gave them all like 4.25s in that realm. So yeah, we got some milkiness from Hop Butcher here. A little bit of milky goodness, that is. Do something like that. So put this over here, and I love the artwork. It's a pepperoni pizza holding 2 pepperonis. Like, Francesca does such a great job. Anyway, yeah, so that has that milky look. Now, honestly, this looks, I'm not going to say it's oxidized, but it has a little bit of an oxidized look. And recently, I don't know if you're going to see this first or the other one I did Jester King, their Witchmaker Rye IPA. This kind of looks similar to that. Has that like, deep orange kind of milky look to it, but that has like a little bit of grayness. About 2 fingers of an off-white, almost eggshell white, creamy looking head. Looks beautiful, albeit, again, maybe slightly oxidized. Let's get a nose. Doesn't smell oxidized. Ooh. Big citrus and stone fruits for me. Candied mango. Yeah, sweet, overripened mango, apricot. Maybe a little bit of like a lemon lime and a passion fruit. Different. Excuse me. Then there's like a ruby red grapefruit with a little sugar sprinkled on, or like a candied grapefruit, something like that. It's a little bit of like a dank herbaceousness. Maybe like tomato stalk-esque too, like a greenness to it. Touch of hop burn in the nose, like a little bit. In the Jester King review, I said the same thing. I tasted the hop burn wasn't as present in the taste, so hoping that's the case here. Yeah, it smells pretty good. I don't remember what the other 3 pizza-themed beers smell like, but I think those were a little bit better. Anyway, let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. Thanks again to Hop Butcher. I don't think it's oxidized because I'm not getting the typical, like I get like cardboard sometimes in like oxidized, big beers like old ales and stouts and stuff. Sometimes I get like sherry notes. Sometimes I get like confectionery sweetness. I'm not really getting that here. It's just, this doesn't have like the vibrancy that I'm accustomed to with Hop Butcher stuff. It's not bad. It's just like, typically, like again, those aforementioned 3 beers all got in like the 4.25 range. This is going to get nowhere close based on the first couple sips. Let's go body and mouthfeel. Buying this one's medium, touch over medium, 7.5%. Yeah, for sure. The mouthfeel, it's soft, it's smooth, it's creamy. A little bit more carbonation than normal for a Hop Butcher 7.5% double IPA. But still, it's a great body and mouthfeel, like Hop Butcher typically does. Taste. Candied grapefruit, candied mango. Those 2 specifically I'm getting at the forefront. So it passes through a little bit of lemon lime, turns into this tart passion fruit kind of midway through the palate. On the back of the palate, as it finishes, I get this green tomato stalk, dank, slightly herbaceous kind of tone. There's a little bit of hop burn left over, just a little bit. And it's building with each sip. It's not like overbearing, but maybe by the end of the glass it will be. Well, always got to be honest, and this rarely happens, but this is a miss to some degree for me personally from Hop Butcher. Now, whether or not this beer is oxidized to some degree, and here's the thing, they sent me the beer mail and I put it right into my fridge, so it's not like this was hanging out, you know, and changing temperatures and everything. It just went right into my beer fridge and I didn't take it out until it was time to review. I don't think it's oxidized though. I mean, again, it doesn't look, you know, great. Like it doesn't have that, has a little bit of that off grayish color, so it might be oxidized a little bit, but I'm not getting huge notes of it. It just, the taste kind of falls flat for what I'm looking for when it comes to their beer, especially with all of these hops in it. I'll drink the rest of it and I have no issues. Like this is not a drain pour, this is not bad, but I expect, you know, a certain degree of quality and deliciousness from Hop Butcher because that's what they usually produce. So when you get a beer that maybe doesn't just do it for you, you get a little bit bummed, and I'm a little bit bummed, but you always got to be honest. So double, I was going to say double pepperoni from Hop Butcher. I have to be honest and give this a, go high 3.5 out of 5, go 3.55. It's best I can do on it. They have tasting notes here in the back. I'll read in a second, but 3.55. It's just, this beer, it falls a little flat. Like I get those 3 or 4 fruit characters and then that finish, but it's just like, after I get done taking a sip, I have a little bit of hot burn lingering. Outside of the body and mouthfeel, nothing is substantially good or great. And that's where it kind of falls flat. 7.5%, I feel a little bit warming in the chest, but you know, it's not a big issue or anything. It's just, it's a 3.55 out of 5. So one of the more disappointing beers from Hop Butcher. Luckily, I have so many more to try from them. And again, they bat like, you know, 92% for me. Like it's very rare for me to not enjoy a Hop Butcher beer. And this is one of those where it's just like, it's all right. Anyway, tasting notes, candied citrus. I said candied grapefruit and mango. So yeah, grapefruit is citrus. So there we go. Dank greens. I never said dank greens, but I said dank and green. Definitely has, like, again, that tomato stalk kind of feel to, maybe even a grassy feel. So I could see that. And bright tropical, maybe that's the passion fruit to some degree. I didn't get really bright tropical, more like dull tropical for me. So yeah, not a great beer, but I was happy to try it like I am any beer that anybody sends to me, especially Hop Butcher. They're always fun to try, but just not one of my favorites. Price point availability, I think these are like 15, 16 bucks in the Chicagoland area. If this sees distro, you're probably looking at, you know, 20 to 22, maybe $24. I mean, any brewery, we talk about like great price points at the brewery, but once they hit distro and you're going through distributors and bottle shops, they're always going to get, it's not like you're going to pay $15, $16 a 4-pack in Chicago and then all of a sudden it's going to be in New York and it's going to be the exact same price. It's going to be 20 bucks a 4-pack or $22 a 4-pack. So you got to expect that. And availability, I think this beer specifically, and maybe their TKO, which is their big triple IPA they just released, I think both of those saw some distro because I'm pretty sure some beer tubing friends got their hands on this and TKO. So if you saw this one and you're outside of Illinois, let me know. I'd be curious to know how, you know, how far this made it. I've not seen any new Hop Butcher stuff here in the Buffalo area, but you know, we usually get drops, a couple different beers from them every, you know, 6 weeks or so, maybe a couple months. So anyway, huge thanks to Hop Butcher for this beer. It's unfortunate that I wasn't a huge fan of it, but it is what it is. So again, if you've had this one, post in the comment section. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.